Thank you very much. And proceed to item 2, declarations of interest, please. Councillor Parker.
I declare an interest in relation to the item on Tavi Helps, and we'll leave the room for the discussion.
Thank you very much, Graham. Anybody else? Usual rules apply. If you decide there is something that you are involved in, please just let me know and we'll take it from there. So, item 3, minutes of the last council meeting. Hopefully everybody has seen those. Any comments, anything contentious or anything you'd like to bring to our attention? Councillor Poppy.
Yeah, thank you. Firstly, apologies for not being able to make that meeting. There was other things cropped up at the last minute which I had to attend to. There was a discussion over the appointments to outside bodies and committees that occurred. And I'd just like really to make a couple of points and seek some clarification. It's my understanding that as councillors we're appointed to those external bodies not as technical experts, but as representatives of the council, by extension the people of Tavistock. And our place on those external bodies and committees is to represent the council and report back to the council on those committees and outside bodies, and where possible offer our insights and support to those bodies. And that's my understanding. If it's any different, I'd like some clarification from the officers. I think, and there was an issue raised over that over one of the appointments, which have to be my appointments to the Dartmoor Commons Association, that would be better served by someone with more technical expertise. I think if you would draw a comparison, it would be Councillor Ewing's, whose years of service to the footballing community have been widely recognised. I don't think there's anyone else that could support the football community in the way she does and represent the council in that football community the way that she has. Although I'm not entirely sure that she would be the first person they call upon to come off the bench to act as a central defensive midfielder. So I would like to see. Comparison I draw that just is our position on these bodies there as a representative one and not a technical one, and therefore, I just wanted to close out because it was left a little bit open at the end of that discussion as a way we take it forward. I mean, like everybody else on this council, when we put ourselves forward for those bodies, we put ourselves forward because A, we probably have an interest in those bodies, and we want to see those bodies succeed. And I think, to undermine some of those justifications for people putting them forwards and question why they have a suitability for those probably undermines everyone's role on those bodies. And I just think we need to support each other rather than sort of question that. And I think, to go back to it, are we there as technical experts or are we there as representatives? And I think we are there as representatives, not as technical experts. And I think we're all sensible enough to understand where we need that technical input. We will call upon officers if they have the technical skills, or the council will call upon outside bodies to support us. And I think I would just like that matter closed out and we can close it.
I think you put that very well, thank you, especially the bit about the new football team lineup. The way I personally look at it is every one of these is unique in its own right. And I think the balance of the person chosen being a representative of the council and also perhaps being able to add some sort of technical value varies in every one. And the other good one I'd point up is my presence on the bid, which, as I said, I think in the last meeting, is a prolonged one for a good reason because of the technical position on the bid. So, it's different to, for instance, the Crowndale Recreation association or something like that. So that's my feeling. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that particular subject? Councillor Parker, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I was the one who brought up the issue about the Dartmoor Commoners Association, not in any sense doubting Councillor Poppy's ability to represent the council, but having served on that association for the past year, all of the other people who are in that room are either landowners or agents of landowners, and the issues they talk about are day-to-day working issues about management of car parking, swaling, wild camping, and the discussions are all about the position of the people, the commoners, as landowners. And I certainly wasn't I'm not saying I didn't make any contribution, because I did, but I didn't know enough about, and still don't, about the day-to-day operation of our landholding as commoners in order to make what I thought was a reasonable contribution to the work of that association. And in my view, I wasn't serving the people of Tavistock terribly well, or the commoners. I simply didn't have the background. Having put that to the council, I was clearly voted down, and I accept that. But I still hold the view that we'd be better represented by an officer with day-to-day knowledge than not.
You'd like to come back on that?
So, all right, day-to-day knowledge. I spend about 70% of my time on Dartmoor, live on the edge of Dartmoor. I work for a business, one of the biggest businesses on Dartmoor. I train people to do Duke of Edinburgh Award. I train people to walk on Dartmoor. I work quite closely with the MOD on training estates on Dartmoor. So, you know, I think whilst our position is not as technical experts, but as representatives that have an interest in that and can bring some value that may not be there. I've worked on national parks around the world, whether that be at the front line of conservation or whether it be managing industrial activity. So, just don't assume that people don't have technical knowledge. And we are not there to be the technical experts, we are there to be the representatives of the council and the people of Tavistock.
Thank you, gentlemen, for airing that. Unless anybody else has anything really important to say on this matter, it is clearly a closed, done and dusted affair. So, by all means, we'll consider it if things change. But I think for the moment, we'll move on and leave it there. Anything else about the minutes of the last meeting, which I think was fairly straightforward. Right, so thank you very much. We have... Yes, indeed, thank you very much. So we need a proposer, please, thank you very much. And a seconder. Those in favour?
Carried.
Thanks, Anne. Right. There are no public representations and questions that I'm aware of. Item 4. So we move on to items requiring a decision, and first one of which is item 5, general finance. You have the schedule of payments, hopefully in front of you, and I'll take any questions on that, please. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just looking at some of the expenditures and generally. So I was considering where we are with the public toilets.
Sorry, I think you might be jumping to item B, 5B.
Okay.
So thank you very much. We'll take that in a second. But if for the moment we can just have a look at those schedule of payments and take any questions or comments on that, please. No, that's good. So that's noted, and Councillor Martin, perhaps you'd make your point on B now. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. It's just a basic inquiry as to where we are with the public toilets and expenditure. So it's got West Devon Borough Council there. So as X, are we maintaining the toilets as such? Thank you.
Would you like to take that, Carl?
At the moment, West Devon Borough Council operate the public conveniences in the town. We make a grant towards the cost of the Guildhall public conveniences in recognition of the fact that we have agreed with West Devon Borough Council in principle that we will take those over, and that process is currently in hand. But as yet, we aren't at the final stages of that transfer yet. Obviously, there are some wider conversations potentially to go forward with West Devon Borough Council, following on from the government's announcements in relation to local government reorganisation, and no doubt that will be picked up as part of that.
Are you happy with that, Councillor Martin? Good, thank you. Right, so we'll take those two items, 5A and B, and note them unless anybody has any problems with that. Good.
Still vote to receive.
Yes, we'll vote on that one. So, proposer, please. Thank you, Councillor Poppy. A seconder, Councillor Hughes. All is in favour. Thank you very much. And we'll move on to budget and policy minutes. The non-confidential items thereof. I'll take this because, well, I was chairman. Deputy Mayor wasn't able to be there, so I'll whip through these quickly. So we have item 421, apologies for absence. 422, confirmation of minutes. 423, declarations of interest. And 424, which was an item on the town water supply, and we have a recommendation there that Tavistock Town Council reaffirms the progression of resilience planning for consideration as part of the upcoming annual service planning work plan processes. So, do we have any thoughts on that, Councillor Ewings, please?
Just to confirm that I did have a meeting with Mr Ian Lescombe, the Head of Environmental Health, about the correspondence. They've also sent in quite a long letter, to which they have received no replies or acknowledgements yet, and he asked me to let him know if I received any to the response I sent in, but I haven't received anything either.
Thank you. I suspect it's probably early days in these sort of discussions, so thank you very much for that.
I'd just like to add to that it is going to be taken further up the line, because we talked about utilities like we did here at the time, and said that actually we should all work together. You know, South West Water should have just phoned West Devon, and if West Devon needed the help of TTC, we should have phoned down here and got the groups organised and everything like that. And that was, I suppose, deemed, can't say it's a failure because it wasn't there set up in the first place, but actually a lesson learned that actually we should be more cooperative in our supporting of each other in such a circumstance.
Yes, very much to your point. I think we can't have too much cooperation on these sort of matters. It makes perfect sense. I do suspect, however, that things will obviously change in view of the next item when it comes to devolution and changes in local government. But thank you for that, Councillor Ewings. Councillor Munro?
Yeah. I was wondering if at the back of this we should be reviewing the town's own resilience plan.
Oh, yes. It's actually there in the recommendation. We're progressing resilience planning. Does that answer your question?
I wasn't sure if we were looking to resolve just with South West Water or our own resilience plan.
No, I understand that to be our own. Yeah. Are you happy with that as a recommendation? Anybody else? No, thank you. So we'll take a proposer for that, please. Thank you very much, Councillor Munro. And a second, we've got Councillor Ewings. All those in favour, please. Thank you.
Carried.
So now we do move on to item 425, which is the devolution reorganisation piece. And I hope that everybody is taken in, absorbed and understood that. The recommendation is that Tavistock Town Council endorse the working group proceedings. Pretty straightforward. Any comments or thoughts on that, please? As I said earlier on, I think it's going to be an interesting progression into whatever we end up with. So, good. We need a proposer for that, please. Councillor Moody, and a seconder. Councillor Johnson. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Thank you. We have some items circulated for information only, and we start with 426, the Heritage Alliance Group. And basically, we looked at some notes in that. Do we have any thoughts on that, please? No? Good. And that takes us up to the area where we are going to deal with it in part 2. So, that's good. That's item 6. And then we move on to the minutes, please, of the DMNL Development Management Licence Committee. Please, Councillor Smith, if you would.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I rise to present the minutes of the DMNL on Wednesday, the 23rd of April. On there, 401, apologies for absence. 402, confirmation of minutes. 403, declarations of interest. 404, Dartmoor National Park Authority. 405, town planning issues. 406, general correspondence. 407, Tavistock Neighbourhood Development Plan. 408, urgent business brought forward at the discretion of the chairman. Mr. Mayor, this is a recommendation that arose. I shall read it out unless you would...
No, please do.
That's fine. Okay. The view of the presentation preceding the meeting, this was the one with West Devon Borough Council where we had the head of their planning operation came in, and I'll start again. In view of the presentation preceding the meeting and associated timelines, the chairman agreed to take the following item as a matter of urgency. A discussion took place regarding the prospective benefits of a collaborative early involvement with the local planning authority, in brackets LPA, close brackets, in aspect of the joint local plan or any successor document, insofar as the parish of Tavistock was concerned. The constructive engagement of the LPA in connection with the current review of the Conservation Area Management Plan and appraisal. Arising therefrom, it was recommended that Tavistock Town Council, little a, request West Devon Borough Council to extend an invitation to Tillier Homes and Strongbox Homes to meet with the Development Management and Licensing Committee and other town councils. That is our Tavistock Town Council, DMNL, on there. Discuss their plans for the development of sites at Plymouth Road and Butcher Hill Park, respectively, including little one, little I, the discussion to be held in public session in the interest of openness and transparency, and 2, request that an officer of the LPA, West Devon, be in attendance. Little b, request that the LPA involve the Town Council at the earliest opportunity when major developments in the town were considered, including any identification of potential sites for future development and the succession arrangements to the current joint local plan, insofar as the parish of Tavistock was concerned. Little c, welcome the opportunity to be involved in the recent review of the Conservation Area Management Plan and appraisal and support their progress to finalisation with a request that, as in 2014, consideration be given to the Town Council's name being added to the cover page in acknowledgement of the collaborative process adopted. I move that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. It sounds like quite a long and fairly complex recommendation. I throw it out to you for discussion if you'd like to. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say about that? Councillor Parker.
A couple of things that I think is worth saying. One is to thank the officers of West Devon Borough Council for what had been a really good, open and frank discussion, and constructive. I missed the subsequent meeting, so I'm not sure of any
I missed
progress,
that one.
but I'm sure we'll find out about progress. The issue about the conservation area management plan, that I believe, and I think the committee agreed, is turning out to be a really, really good piece of work. And it's something that, unlike the original 2009 management plan, which the Town Council did not endorse, but like the 2014 revision, which the Town Council did endorse, to the point of having its name on the cover of the management plan, that is something that I think well, I know that the DM&L committee would seek the support of full council for that request. And I think that's something that we do need to think of this evening.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So are you happy that that's wrapped up in the recommendation? You are.
If you, Mr. Mayor, are happy that becomes an action for the Town Council to request that, then yes, I am.
Yes, I think that is what we're saying.
It's part of the recommendation.
Yes, so it is as part of the recommendation. So, unless anybody has any other points to make on that particular DM&L, would you like to say something else?
I second the...
Splendid. Thank you very much. All those in favour? Thank you. Thank you very much, Councillor Parker, for helping us with that one. Right, so we haven't... Oh, sorry, you have more to say, haven't you? Yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
Carrying on from 408, 409, planning applications, little a, planning decisions, little b, new planning applications, and the recommendations that the views of the Town Council as listed in Appendix B be passed to the local planning authority for consideration. And I will move that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councillor Parker.
Seconded.
Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Splendid. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. One more. Oh, yes, you've got another meeting to do, haven't you? Yes, indeed. There were two, weren't there? Yes.
Right. The last one for this meeting is 410 next meeting, which was on Monday the 12th of May.
Thanks.
And that starts off, Mr. Mayor, 411, apologies for absence. 412, confirmation of minutes. Resolved that subject to the following, it was noted that a member had reported that in the informal presentation preceding the meeting, this was the one that we had West Devon's planning officer in, preceding the meeting, officers of the local planning authority had indicated that the prospective Butcher Park Hill proposal would fall for consideration under policy TTV 26 of the joint local plan. The minute of the meeting of the Development Management and Licensing Committee held on Wednesday the 23rd of April, he confirmed it's a correct record and signed by the chairman. This indicates, for context, Mr. Mayor, is that TTV 26 would take the parcel of land to be classified as countryside.
Yes.
On there. And that would change the amount of affordable housing that would normally be 30% up to possibly up towards 60 in the discussions.
Yes.
So that needs to, that is resolved. Do we want to take a vote on that, or is it just a note?
No.
Yes, please do.
Yes, sorry, just to clarify, the resolution relates to the confirmation of the minutes. that is a note which actually should really come after that, which is something which has been acknowledged could and should have been included. So it requires no action at this stage. The committee itself has determined it.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. 413, declarations of interest. 414, Dartmoor National Park Authority. 415, town planning issues. 416, general correspondence. 417, Tavistock neighbourhood development plan. That's where we noted that the plan got achieved at 7.7% for those who voted and was passed. Waited for confirmation by West Devon. 418, urgent business brought forward at the discretion of the chairman. And 419, planning applications, little a, planning decisions, little b, new planning applications, and the recommendation that the views of the town council as listed in appendix B be passed to the local planning authority for consideration. I will move that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Is that a second? Yes. All those in favour, please. Unless we have any... Do we have any debate in? No. Good. Vote, please. Those in favour.
Carried.
Thank you very much.
And the last one, 420, next meeting, which is next Tuesday on the 3rd of June. All are welcome in the chamber. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much, Councillor Smith. That's marvellous. So now we can move on, I think, to the service reports. So first one here is our report from the General Manager. So have we any points on that one, please? Bearing in mind it's for information only. No. And then we move on to the Pannier Market report.
Noted.
The Works Department report. And finally, Town Hall and Butchers Hall report. Can I just add a personal vote of thanks to all our officers for, certainly since I've been sitting in this chair, which hasn't been very long, but we've had two extremely successful events held in town. The first one was the VE Day celebration, which, as far as I was concerned, was absolutely brilliant. What I really liked about that particular event was the way that the officers, our officers, worked hand in hand very closely with BID and produced something that I think was truly spectacular. And then I was honoured to be involved in the Country Garden Festival this last weekend, which again, I don't know if any of you managed to get there, but it was another amazing, really, really good event. Helped along, of course, by the weather. So thank you very much to all our officers involved in that. Moving to item 9, finance and other matters. So we've got 9A, the report of the Assistant to the Town Clerk. Do we have any thoughts on that? Oh, good. And to receive any update from or questions to council representatives serving on other outside bodies in connection with the work of those bodies, which really is along the same lines that Councillor Poppy was talking about before. Remember, this is the perfect vehicle to feed back anything that's happening in your bailiwick. So please do say so if you think there's something involved. Councillor Johnson.
Thank you. As I've reported before, the Treasury will make a decision on the Plymouth to Tavistock Railway on the 12th of June. Prior to this Thursday, the press are going to, BBC Spotlight are hoping to be here in Tavistock to film some publicity material, and the chairman of Tavistock Rail, Richard Seawright, will speak to them. So if anybody's about on Thursday morning, 10 o'clock, please come down to the square to add a bit of a crowd to there. That would be good. Hopefully things will move in our direction, and we'll know for sure on the 12th of June what's going on. On the 19th of June, there is a meeting of Tavi Rail to which anybody here could come to. It's at 7 o'clock and it's in this chamber. So if you feel you'd like to come and find out a bit more about the railway, you'd be most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. Councillor Parker.
Can I ask, we don't seem to have any report from West Devon Borough Council this time, and is there any way of unlocking a report from the County Council? We're left in relative ignorance as to what's going on in the County Council.
Yes, I think various methods have been tried to no avail so far. And your experience of this is longer than mine, so I'm not prepared to comment any further. I don't know if anybody would like to, particularly from the West Devon point of view. I'm thinking about double hatters here. No. Does anybody want to add to what Councillor Parker's saying?
Sorry, just on the West Devon side of things, this being the first meeting after the annual meeting, we weren't in a position to actually ask a West Devon councillor this time. What we do is for West Devon councillors, we have a rota, so we go to them each in turn from that side of things. So I would anticipate normal service will be resumed there. Going
Grateful, thank you.
Did you want to say something? No. Councillor Munro.
Could Councillor Johnson please just clarify the meeting day and time for Tavistock?
Sorry, the actual Tavistock meeting is here in this building at 7 o'clock on the 19th of June.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, anything more on that? No. I take your point, Councillor Parker. We try. Item 10, to receive such communications or reports as may be submitted by the Town Mayor. I have had none, and urgent matters brought forward at the discretion of the Town Mayor, of which I have none. So we now move to the Part 2 confidential segment of our agenda.